They asked this man one question about football, and then they was on it, still trying to see if he was going to say something wrong or say something they can use and twist it around. He continued to stand his ground and say what's up, and he had a good had a good evening on and off the field.
Go 49er quarter. Colin Kaepernick is addressing the media as we speak.
Felt good to be back on the field. A little more successful outing than the last one. Felt like we got in a rhythm offensively. Had a couple long drives. Our offensive line was doing a great job up front. Our receivers and tight ends were making plays. Things went well. It was amazing. Me and Eric had many conversations, and he approached me and said, I support what you're doing. I support what your message is. Let's think about how we can do this together. And we talked about it at length, and we wanted to make sure the message that we're trying to send isn't lost with the action that's coming along with it. Well, I think it's a misunderstanding. The media painted this as I'm anti-American, anti-men and women of the military, and that's not the case at all. I realize that men and women of the military go out and sacrifice their lives and put themselves in harm's way for my freedom of speech and my freedoms in this country and my freedom to take a seat or take a knee. So I have the utmost respect for them, and I think what I did was taken out of context and spun a different way.
What is your message? What message are you trying to go?
The message is that we have a lot of issues in this country that we need to deal with. We have a lot of people that are oppressed. We have a lot of people that aren't treated equally, aren't given equal opportunities. Police brutality is a huge thing that needs to be addressed. There are a lot of issues that need to be talked about, need to be brought to life, and we need to fix those things.
And along those lines, Colin, how disappointed are you that the further we get away from your protest first being noticed, we're talking about everything but your message?
Well, I think that's something that's hard for this country to address, is what the real issues are, and coming to the point where we can admit that these are issues. And once we admit that, we can deal with it, we can fix them, and we can make this country and these communities a better place.
Are you that disappointed to you that people are focusing on everything else except your message?
Yeah, it is disappointing because it takes us farther away from the end goal, which is making the communities in this country a better place.
Does any of that fall on you in terms of articulating a clear message? You said group police brutality. You said a lot of issues. That's not that clear. If you're going to make this type of bold stance and you want people to talk about the issues, you have to lay out the issues clearly.
So do you plan to go beyond this protest that you're taking right now? You took a knee today. Are you planning to take it a step further than just sitting out the national anthem?
Yes, I am planning to take it a step further. I'm currently working with organizations to be involved and making sure that I'm actively in these communities, as well as donating the first $1 million I make this year to different organizations to help these communities and help these people.
The San Francisco Police Department, the San Francisco Police Association has invited you to come visit the academy. Is that something that you're considering?
Yeah, I'm most definitely considering it. The SFPD has had, a lot of issues, and I think one of the issues that needs to be addressed are the racist text messages that have been, passed back and forth between PD members. Not only talking about the community, but also talking about colleagues that work in the same department as them. it was something I was thinking about to try to make sure that I'm not just talking about something, but I'm actively being involved and actively trying to make a change in these communities. And I've been very blessed to be in this position and be able to make the kind of money I do. And I have to help these people. I have to help these communities. It's not right that they're not put in the position to succeed or given those opportunities to succeed. And as far as taking a knee tonight, Eric, as well as myself, had a long conversation with Nate Boyer, who is a military vet, and we were talking to him about how can we get the message back on track and not take away from the military, not take away from pride in our country, but keep the focus on what the issues really are. And as we talked about it, we came up with taking a knee because there are issues that still need to be addressed, and it was also a way to try to show more respect to the men and women that fight for this country. It was, really just the feelings he had. It was an observation and how he felt, and as I talked to him, as we had that conversation, those are discussions that this country needs to have. While I was talking to him, he mentioned 22 military vets a day commit suicide. But this country will let those vets go and fight the war for them, but when they come back, they won't do anything to try to help them. That's another issue. And these issues need to be addressed.
Was the knee a religious symbol as well? Was that any religious overtones taking the knee?
No, there was no religious overtones with that.
Which organizations are you working with, Colin?
Well, what's going through your mind regardless of America, and you applied it at the end?
Yeah, once again, I'm not anti-American. I love America. I love people. That's why I'm doing this. I want to help make America better. And I think having these conversations helps everybody have a better understanding of where everybody is coming from. And those conversations are important to have because the better we understand each other, the better we know each other, the better we can deal and communicate with each other, which ultimately, makes everyone puts everybody in a better position. I didn't know that, but I'm very happy. I'm very proud of him for doing that. I think there are a lot of people that know there are issues and want to address them. I think one of the biggest issues is going about it the right way and also having a clear course of action, which I've had a lot of conversations this week with a lot of different people and trying to plan those things out so we can say, these are the courses of action we want to take and be very clear and concise with those actions.
Which organizations are you working with?
There are a lot that we're currently working with and trying to figure out what's the best way to go about this and what we can actively do. I really don't want to get into specifics as far as organizations, but we've had a lot of discussions in that area.
You say it's a lot of organizations.
No. My day is spent with my teammates in meetings at practice. I spend 10, 11, 12 hours a day on football. This is something that we're doing in our personal lives as far as taking a stand and trying to fight for people's rights.
What's the result of your protest? You get done with all this and you come to a point, maybe you feel like you don't need to take a knee, or what would be the dream result?
The dream result would be equality, justice for everybody. This is really something about human rights. It's about the people. This isn't about anything other than that. And some people aren't given the same rights, aren't given the same opportunities as others. And that's really what the issue is. Most definitely. I think, I've seen my team grow a lot this week. And it is the open discussions, because I think in a lot of cases, there's barriers up because you don't know my background, I don't know yours, and we just assume things based on race, based on where you're from, based on what I've heard your past is. And we can't do that. We have to have these conversations, we have to understand each other better, and ultimately that brings us closer together, which I've seen with my team.
Colin, a handful of charges tonight tell me that they support what you're fighting for. I'm wondering how many players have reached out to you privately to say they support what you're fighting for?
I've had numbers of players do that. I think there are a lot of conversations happening not only in NFL locker rooms but around the country. I've also had friends that aren't on football teams say, I respect what you're doing, I support you, and I've had more conversations about human rights and oppression and things that need to change in the last week than I've had in my entire life. And the fact that those conversations are happening is a start.
Colin, when you were afterward, you were signing autographs and photos with a group of fans, and you seemed really like genuinely happy and relaxed to be in that group. And what did you get out of just that? Being so thankful?
It really meant a lot that those people came out and supported me tonight. And I think they knew it wasn't going to be an ideal situation or circumstance, because some people might not completely understand what I'm trying to do. But I love being with people. And the fact that they were out there, they were excited, it genuinely made me happy. And I wanted to try to show my appreciation by going over, talking to them, and showing my support for them.
Did anybody say anything that stuff with you?
Yeah, more than anything, the people just saying, we support you, we're with you. Don't let anybody deter you from what you're trying to do. And I think that sticks with me, because a lot of those people are the people that I want to give equal opportunities to.
I asked you the other day, you might get released. Maybe you understood it, that the possibility was there. How much do you want to keep this job with this team right now?
This is a phenomenal organization, and I've had great conversations here. I've had great memories here, and this team has given me, the opportunity to become the man I am today. And I'm grateful for that. I'm thankful for that. And San Francisco has become my home.
Do you think the possibility is lessened over the last few days just because of conversations you've had with teammates and maybe in the front office?
I hope it's lessened. I've had conversations with people. They really do understand what I'm trying to do and who I'm trying to help, and I think that's huge. Understanding each other is a big step towards treating each other the right way and getting towards that goal of equality.
In light of some of the recent conversations that you've had, how long do you plan on continuing to take a knee, and will it be continued?
At this point, I think it will continue to be taking a knee. As far as how long this goes, I'm not sure. I want to be able to affect change, and I think there are a lot of other people that want to as well. And organizing that and making sure that we can help each other out and make the biggest impact that we can in these communities and in people's lives. I think when that happens, I think a lot of people will really influence me to stand. I don't think it's a distraction at all. Like we talked about earlier, it's really brought our team closer, because we've got closer to each other on a personal level. So we understand each other better. We go out on the field, we fight for each other because we know we're fighting for the same thing. And I think it showed tonight that our team is willing to fight for each other. We're willing to go out and play hard, and that it hasn't distracted us from football.
How does it make you feel that better in that military personnel that do support
That was, when I first had that sent to me and I saw that, it was something that it really touched me, because they didn't get lost in what, it was portrayed as. They really heard me for what I was trying to do. And the fact that military veterans acknowledged that, it really meant a lot to me. And, it's something that I want to be able to help them as well, because they are in need.
All right, thanks, guys. We got to get the play. All right.
No, that was, once again, we have cops that are murdering people. We have cops in the SFPD that are blatantly racist. And those issues need to be addressed. I have uncles, I have friends who are cops, and I have great respect for them, because they're doing it for the right reason and they genuinely want to protect and help people. That's not the case with all cops, and the cops that are murdering people and are racist are putting other cops in danger, like my family, like my friends. And that's an issue that needs to be addressed.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So Colin Kaepernick, the San Francisco 49er quarterback, lending a little clarity when it comes to his stance on taking a knee during the Star-Spangled Banner. Of course, he and Nate Boyer opening up the channels when it comes to social dialogue. He said he's looking to take it one step further. He wants to donate to certain organizations. He's going to donate $1 million of this year's salary of his money to various organizations. So, of course, with he and Nate Boyer coming together midfield before the contest, having that little discussion, well, things have softened just a little bit. And on the flip side, Nate Boyer, he caught up with our Alex Flanagan, and we will see that exclusive one-on-one interview as soon as TA returns.